This evening, President David Granger received courtesy calls from prime ministers and leading representatives from around the world. Tempers flared in Parliament over the state of healthcare in Guyana. Bharat Jagdeo calls for national unity as we celebrate the Golden Jubilee of Guyana's independence. Babita Sarju's alleged killers faced the judge at the Georgetown Magistrates Court this morning. In the region, public servants in St. Lucia have been asked to be more productive. And internationally, Elizabeth Warren blasted Donald Trump. In response, he called her Pocahontas.
From Safetv headquarters in South Bradford Gardens, this is Safetv Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Join us. The leader of the opposition, Bharat Jagdeo, is calling for national unity as we celebrate the Golden Jubilee of Guyana's independence. This pronouncement caused quite a stir in Parliament given some of his early utterances. Kingsley Bryan has more in this report.
Opposition leader Bharat Jagdeo is urging all Guyanese, especially the parliamentarians, to join hands as the nation celebrates its 50th independence anniversary. Mr. Jagdeo stated that all differences should be put aside to ensure that a prosperous nation was the ultimate goal.
We believe that this blood tie that binds us is stronger than the political, sometimes the heated political divisions we have that might find very robust expressions. And so I believe too that our country will do better in the next 50 years.
Mr. Jagdeo noted that he was in complete agreement with President Granger's utterances to the Parliament that the struggles for independence should not be forgotten. He stated that the division among the Guyanese people was externally influenced and that this must be openly exposed. Mr. Jagdeo stressed that the PPP were a patriotic fold and hoped that these celebrations would be the start of great things.
We're looking forward to 50 years in the future when we can look back at this celebration and say our country has moved forward.
The opposition leader's speech received a deserved round of acknowledgement, but there are many who are yet questioning its genuity. This is so given the utterances of the party's General Secretary, Clement Roy, at their weekly press briefing on Monday.
Our activities will be made up of political nature to bring, to shift the focus, as we see it, in terms of the role played by the PPP and Dr. Jagan, because we're not seeing any of that from the other side. The political for us is extremely important. And as we had said before, we are participating in some of the celebrations that are taking place. But we have a focus that we've decided on, and we have to push for that.
There was an earlier call by Mr. Jagdeo to have Dr. Jagan's involvement included in the president's speech. Mr. Roy said the government's focus was on cultural activities and celebrations for the Golden Jubilee. While he expressed that nothing was wrong with that, he made it clear that the party had to focus on Dr. Jagan's input to Guyana's independence. George.
Thank you, Kingsley. President David Granger today received courtesy calls from the Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Frundle Stewart, and Commonwealth Secretary General, the Right Honorable Patricia Scotland, among others, at the Ministry of the Presidency today. Andrew Weeks reports.
Prime Minister Stewart is in Guyana for the observance of the nation's Golden Jubilee anniversary of independence. Mr. Stewart's courtesy call on President Granger was fitting and well-timed. At the Ministry of the Presidency, both presidents exchanged gifts.
From Barbados to you. Thank you.
No, you need to hold the base like this because it will come out.
Right. And from Barbados to Guyana. Thank you very much. And this is required reading for your Guyanese citizenship. You have to be able to answer questions.
As both heads of state sat down for a chat, this was what Prime Minister Stewart said about Guyana's independence celebration.
No, I couldn't miss this. I value too highly the relationship between Barbados and Guyana.
Headline News also understands from the Ministry of the Presidency that President David Granger will tomorrow bestow upon the Prime Minister the Order of Roraima at an investiture ceremony to be held at State House. Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Greenidge also attended the meeting. The Honorable F.J. Stewart QC MP has been described as a true friend to Guyana. He stands resolute in support of the preservation of Guyana's territorial integrity in face of Venezuela's continued threats to Guyana's sovereignty. Also paying courtesy call on the eve of Guyana's independence celebration is the new Commonwealth Secretary General, retired Honorable Patricia Scotland QC. She also presented gifts to President Granger and Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Greenidge on behalf of the Commonwealth. President Granger did the same on the nation's behalf.
Commonwealth, but it's signed by Her Majesty the Queen, and we hoped that you would take this with our great love and affection for Guyana. And this...
You don't have a pocketbook version. This looks biblical.
Well, maybe I'll make one just in blue to put in this pocket here. And I thought maybe the Foreign Minister might like this book, which has just come out, which is Achieving a Resilient Future for Small States in the Caribbean 2050, and you notice prosperity. We've got some great ideas. We hope that we will be able to share those with you, and that we have a very wealthy future ahead of us in all senses of the world.
This is the third time for the morning you used that wealth word. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Speaking to the press, Secretary General Scotland said Guyana is a diamond in the region and that the Commonwealth stands with Guyana on Venezuela's land threat claim.
Well, firstly, I think we need to rejoice. This is a golden anniversary. Guyana is so beautiful. It has some of the most beautiful people in our region because it's an eclectic mix. I think if you look at the faces of the Guyanese people, you'll see our history with Chinese and Asian and African and European, but all mixed up, as well as the people who were here first of all, the indigenous people. And I think there's an opportunity for us to celebrate because Guyana has always been one of the diamonds of our region. Small states, but with real beauty. So I'm here to celebrate, I hope in real Guyanese style, and I know that it will be fabulous. So I want to say to all of Guyana, happy anniversary. Be proud of your nation. Be proud of all the wonderful things you have achieved in the last 50 years. But this is just the beginning.
George, there were also other representatives who have taken the time to visit with the head of state on this 50th year of observance. These are Suriname and the United States of America. Back to you, George.
Thanks, Andrew. Sparks flew in Parliament on Tuesday as the coalition government disproved the opposition's motion that Guyana's healthcare system was in crisis. Parliamentary reporter Andrew Weeks followed the action in the House and filed this report.
Former Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Dr. Frank Anthony, said that it was Article 24 of the Constitution which guarantees citizens the right to free medical supplies. He said that this constitutional right has been breached.
It is very disappointing that when the three ministers spoke, that they said there's no need for an investigation. This is coming, sir, from a government who has done a number of COIs. Yet, we don't want to do a simple investigation as to why there's a drug shortage and how we're going to fix it. But you know, Mr. Speaker, this is a serious matter. And we can procrastinate, we can make all the blunders, but at the end of the day, there are patients, there are ordinary poor Guyanese out there who are suffering.
On the other hand, Public Health Minister Dr. George Norton told a National Assembly on Tuesday that the motion brought before the House by Shadow Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony is not true.
With your 8 speakers who keep repeating there is a drug shortage, there is a drug shortage, you would want to believe there is a drug shortage. There is therefore no need, Mr. Speaker, to launch any investigation as is requested in the resolve clause. and neither to report on the supply of these items to the National Assembly. But we don't have a problem with that. We can do so. Mr. Speaker, having pointed out the situation as it is in reality, that is, there's no truth in the alleged persistent shortages of drugs and medical supply in the public health system. And with regards to the different steps that we have put in place for the procurement of drugs and medical supplies, we are certain that we will correct the situation that we inherited as a new government, and we therefore cannot support this motion.
Dr. Anthony, in his motion, said that although the ministry's budgetary allocation had tripled in 2016 to $19 billion Ghana dollars from a low of $5 billion in 2015, of which $5 billion has been set aside for the procurement and distribution of medicines and medical supplies, that there is countrywide shortage of basic and essential drugs and medical supplies in the country. In 2015, more than $600 million Ghana dollars allocated for medicines and medical supplies had not been utilized. But later in the evening, Junior Minister of Finance, Chaipal Sharma, in his presentation said the opposition's mathematics was wrong and that the coalition government was clearing up the mess the former PPC government left behind.
Budget 2015, under 6221, 5.5 billion was budgeted.
Listen.
And the actual expenditure for 2015 was 5.1 billion. Therefore, there's only a difference of 400 million that was not spent. I'm trying to aggregate it here. Mr. Speaker, what I'm saying is that this particular whereas clause said there was no large expenditure, but figures don't lie.
George, Minister Norton said that contrary to reports published in the section of the media, the PAHO WHO World Health Organization was assisting the ministry with the importation of medicine and medical supplies. He said that assistance was forthcoming not because of a shortage, but to ensure a smooth transition from the single sourcing method which was employed over the years by the PPC administration to the new procurement method which will allow small, medium and large-scale medical institutions to supply drugs and medical supplies across the country. Back to you, George.
Thank you, Andrew. Coming up on Headline News after the break, schools in Guyana celebrate by hosting a National Culture Day. And today, Babita Sarju's alleged killers appeared at the Georgetown Magistrates Court.
If you're in town and you're looking for a mall with everything under one roof, then you need to go to the Parliament View Vendors Mall. Here is why.
I see money right now. And when people come in and visit the place, I tell them to come back and support us.
You can get your bread, your top up, your fruits, your hats, your pants, everything in this one location.
The mall is very comfortable. The working facilities is more comfortable, so people feel more relaxed to come and support us.
Wonderful greens, fresh and nice, fresh calmo, cocoa, blanche, fresh and nice. We are right here, Parliament View.
Get the roads to the mountain, everything again. Clean out.
You know where we used to that before? So them tell me we want in your mall. Come to Parliament View, get juice, milk and bump from me.
Come and support us.
Go to the Parliament View Mall and support your vendors, support your persons who you bought from.
The new Parliament View Vendors Mall. Everything fresh and clean and in order at one location. Sponsored by the Mayor and City Council of Georgetown.
As we celebrate 50 years of Guyana's independence, let's get together and spend an evening at the grand Best in 50 Retro Show and Dance on Friday, May 27th, 2016 at the Pegasus Poolside. Come and reminisce as you mix with the elegant, matured and sophisticated while you enjoy the show and party to the best retro sounds. Tickets are $15,000 per couple and $8,000 for single with dinner included. Avoid disappointment and book your tickets and tables now. For bookings and tickets, call 223-6047 or 696-5746. That's 223-6047 or 696-5746. It's the grand 50th Retro Show and Dance, Friday, May 27th from 8 p.m. at the Pegasus Poolside. Dress elegant, come early and stay late.
Guyana, It will be the biggest celebration in the history of Guyana, the Golden Jubilee, with the biggest reggae artist of our time,
Darius Hammond,
along with his band performing over 3 decades of hit songs. Also performing the young, super talented reggae star Christopher Martin and his band, plus Guyana's very own Tamika Marshall, Calvin Burnett, and the Heatwave Band. A night of great reggae music. 50 Shades of Reggae. Also performing Guyana's Lisa Punch.
Friday, 27th of May.
At the National Park.
Secure parking will be provided.
Early bird tickets, $3,000, $4,000 after.
VIP, $15,000.
Brought to you by McNeil Enterprise, Hits and Jams Entertainment, HJ Waterworld, Fly Jamaica,
The Official Airline,
Star Party Rental, Hotel Tower, Nigel Supermarket,
TVG, Giftland Mall,
and Gizmos and Gadget.
I'll say, will you marry me? I swear that I will mean it. I say, will you marry me? Sing it.
John-Louis Styles, simply different.
Basketball fans, get ready for the invasion of the mighty DC Jammers of the US of A. Yes, they are coming to challenge the reigning top 4 basketball clubs in Guyana. The Goodwill Tour begins on Saturday, May 21st, when the Jammers battle the Ravens. On Sunday, May 22nd, they take on the Raiders from Linden. The action continues on Tuesday, May 24, when they match up with the Pacesetters. Then come Friday, May 27th, the DC Jammers takes on MVP Stanton Rose and his champion club, the Bounty Colts. All games starts at 18:30 hours at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall. Supporting games will feature Youth Basketball Guyana. Tickets cost $1,000. Children under 12 absolutely free. Chow Pow will be in the house with lots of giveaways. Don't you dare miss the excitement. It's a Jubilee celebration. Basketball is back, sponsored by Mackinson.
Everybody Guyana is turning the big 5-0, and we're planning the biggest celebration to mark this momentous milestone. Independence Juve, just after the flag rising ceremony, from 12 midnight to 6 a.m. Celebrate with some of the most electrifying performances from Kez the Band, Kestra, Kerwin DuBois, Jomo, Crazy Ace, Shelly, Super Ray, Jackie Jacks, the Heatwave Band, Fusion, and Boom FM DJs at GCC Ground Borda.
Tickets $2,000. $3,000 at the gate, $12,000 stage front.
Independence Juve. Come, let's have a good time together.
Babita Sarju's alleged killers made their initial appearance at the Georgetown Magistrates Court this morning, charged with murder. Kingsley Bryan provides the details in this report.
The two men, Sharadanand Narain called Anand, and his alleged accomplice, Darrell Pronton, called Yankee, appeared before Chief Magistrate Ann McLennan, charged with the capital offense of murder. The men were not required to plead to the indictable charge. The mother of the deceased and other relatives were seen weeping uncontrollably after the men responsible for Babita's death were finally brought before the courts. They were remanded to prison until June 21. Babita Sarju disappeared 6 years ago after she left home to attend the Diwali motorcade. From the inception, her mother, Champa Sionarain, was suspicious of foul play and felt strongly that her daughter's husband had a hand in her disappearance. Miss Sionarain continually complained that the couple was experiencing problems. Last Sunday, after years of seeking justice, the skeletal remains of Babita Sarju were retrieved from her husband's yard after he led investigators to the spot. Samples have been sent for testing, but police were able to establish their case after relatives positively identified the clothing found with the remains. Crime Chief Wendell Blanham and his team were praised for their efforts, given the fact the case was recently reopened. This follows years of pleading by Ms. Sionarain and other rights-based organizations to ensure the matter didn't stay in the missing persons files. Ms. Sionarain on Wednesday returned to express her gratitude to the police force for acting on their leads. For Safetv 2 Headline News, Kingsley Bryan.
Thank you, Kingsley. The celebration of Guyana's Golden Jubilee has brought out the best in many of the country's local artistes. In this Rihanna Ahmad report, you'll see and hear of some of the beautifully crafted songs.
The first indication of great things to come from the local creative industry was the Golden Jubilee Land of Jaguar logo, seen here. This was skillfully put together by Christopher Taylor and Campton Bob. From there on, one tactfully worded song after the other was released. The first to get Guyanese singing along was the Guyana song, written and sung by the talented Poonam Singh.
Welcome to the land of many faces, not one, not two, but 6 different races. You'll know when the sun kisses your skin, you're in the right place. G-U-I-A-N-N, oh, that's my beautiful country.
This was followed by a powerful piece from the ever-soulful Jackie Hanover.
No matter where my feet and mind may go, my heart will lead to you when you're alone. Guyana, Guyana.
More seasoned people like Charmaine Blackman, coupled with her husband Bonnie Alves, have also been producing a number of catchy Jubilee pieces like these. It was only a few hours ago that Purnash Durga Prasad released this Guyana We Moving piece that has already been receiving rave responses.
No matter which part of the world you roam, Guyana is your home. Come back home, let we celebrate. 6 people from different nations, together in one vibration. Hands to your chest and pledge allegiance to the golden arrowhead, flying so high and shine so bright today. The golden arrowhead.
Plus, Major Joe B and his Jubilee song will definitely have you on your feet.
6 races we living as a family. Come together, make we build the economy. One people, one nation, one destiny. Show some love and bring out the best in me. 50 years independent nation, so we don't have no time for segregation. Join together, make we build up the nation. Show some love to the young generation. Jubilee, 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 Jubilee.
Thanks, Rihanna. Schools around the nation celebrated today by hosting a National Culture Day. This morning, Josel Educational Institute in Queenstown, Georgetown, celebrated the 6 cultures of Guyana for Culture Day. The morning started with a parade through the surrounding neighborhood. The parade attracted residents, commuters, and even a school full of students. The children then gathered together to celebrate Guyana with music. Following this, 2 students then gave speeches regaling the struggle for independence.
It would be another 30 years before Guyana would get to have our deputies involved, but those days were indeed formative ones. In that time, the struggle for better working conditions continued. As independence crept closer, the beautiful symbols that would permanently depict Guyana's unique identity to the world were chosen.
The program then ended with a march of the 6 peoples who call Guyana home in the order in which they arrived in the nation: Amerindian, European, African, East Indian, Portuguese, and Chinese. Still ahead, our regional and international news.
Women's fashion trends change every day. That's why John Lewis Styles makes it their duty to source items directly from the manufacturing brand, offering you more choices and better prices. Women love to look great, whether it's for work or play. From clothing, shoes, accessories, to handbags, watches, fragrances. Let's make you feel like the only girl in the world. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
As we celebrate 50 years of Guyana's independence, let's get together and spend an evening at the grand Best in 50 Retro Show and Dance on Friday, May 27th, 2016 at the Pegasus poolside. Come and reminisce as you mix with the elegant, matured, and sophisticated while you enjoy the show and party to the best retro sounds. Tickets are $15,000 per couple and $8,000 for single with dinner included. Avoid disappointment and book your tickets and tables now. For bookings and tickets, call 223-6047 or 696-5746. That's 223-6047 or 696-5746. It's the Grand 50th Retro Show and Dance, Friday, May 27th from 8 p.m. at the Pegasus poolside. Dress elegant, come early and stay late.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safetv Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safetv Channel 2. Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safetv Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's for dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
In news from the region now, in St. Lucia, in a workshop held to highlight the negative and accentuate the positive, public servants were encouraged to be more productive. DBS News World has more.
The workshop sought to impress upon the nurses the need to reduce stress and increase productivity. The program is coming at a time when there is increasing pressure on public servants to be more productive.
Today our theme is stress and productivity, and we know that once persons are under stress, productivity decreases. And so the Nurses Association, what we did was to highlight the need for our nurses who are usually under stress to understand how to manage their stress and so become more productive. We know there's a thrust in St. Lucia now for productivity, especially in the public service. A lot of our people are complaining on the productivity of our public servants, and so the association saw the need to have this workshop, and so we invited the Productivity Council to come and do this workshop with us today.
The workshop also sought to address the issue of time management. Many of the nurses work long hours, but at the same time have family and community obligations to care for.
Oh yes, time management is very essential for us as nurses because we also have families. We probably have other community engagements, and so managing our time, giving of our best to our clients, all that is necessary so that we can become a well-rounded person.
The Nurses Association believes that more administrators should attend such sessions. The association believes that managers need to recognize the dedication and commitment of staff members by providing various incentives. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas.
And internationally, Senator Elizabeth Warren launched an attack on Donald Trump, and he fired back, calling Warren Pocahontas and a total failure. CNN's Brianna Keeler reports.
Hillary Clinton is getting some tag team help against Donald Trump. Senator and fellow Democrat Elizabeth Warren slamming Trump for his comments a decade ago, where he said that he hoped a housing market crash would happen so he could profit from it. Here's Warren.
Donald Trump was drooling over the idea of a housing meltdown because it meant he could buy up more property on the cheap. What kind of a man does that? I'll tell you exactly what kind of a man does that. It is a man who cares about no one but himself. A small, insecure money grubber who doesn't care who gets hurt so long as he makes a profit off it. What kind of a man does that? A man who will never be president of the United States.
Now, Trump firing back at Warren. Watch what he said.
Oh, Hillary Clinton has somebody. Did you ever hear of Pocahontas? Huh? It's Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. She was going out. She is probably the senator that's doing just about the least in the United States Senate. She's a total failure. She said she was an Indian. She said because her cheekbones were high, she was an Indian, that she was Native American. And, you know, we have these surrogates, people like her, total failures.
And that's Safetv 2 headline news for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Safetv 2 headline news on Facebook and YouTube. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast and Friday evening at 6 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, and a blessed Jubilee to all.
Jubilee, Jubilee, GT, Jubilee, Jubilee, Barbies, Jubilee, Jubilee, Linden, Jubilee, 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 Yama, Jubilee, Jubilee, Hola, Jubilee, 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 Party, Jubilee, Jubilee. 6 races we living as a family. Come together, make we build the economy. One people, one nation, one destiny. Show some love and bring out the best in me. 50 years independent nation, so we don't have no time for segregation. Join together, make we build up the nation. Show some love to the young generation. Jubilee.